안녕하세요. 플레어 벨라입니다. 반갑습니다.
Oh, very good. Good job.
I used to be a civil servant in France, and in 2012 I became a member of the French government, first serving as the Minister for Digital, Small Businesses and Innovation, then Minister for Foreign Trade and Tourism, and lastly Minister for Culture and Communication. So a person like me, for example, my family did not have any network. I don't come from a privileged family. I could never have become a member of government, if it was not for ENA, because ENA really gave me access. And it's a way to promote people who don't have the right social background and to break, this very closed circle of elites in countries or in organizations where you don't have this kind of schools that train people and give them the right skills to become good high civil servants. It's very difficult to describe because ENA is quite a practical school because you spend 1 year doing training course, doing internship in an embassy or in a prefecture, and in a prefecture actually, so really in France, but the administration that represent the states in the regions. And so when you spend 6 months, really working as if you were a civil servant working for that prefecture or for that embassy, you really do the same work as all the civil servants. So that's where you really learn, the codes, the way you need to behave, but also what skills you need to grow, what kind of attitude is expected from you. So you learn as much in terms of content as in terms of soft skills, like yes, how to behave and how to work in a group. So I think it was a very good school to acquire the codes, but also to learn on public law, public finance, geopolitical issues. You learn a lot of things that are going to be very useful in your professional life later. Okay, so I'm totally against this measure. I think it's really a big mistake because before ENA was created, then the way the administration elites were selected was only by nepotism and networks. Of course, it can be reformed. It can work better. It is true that in ENA, a lot of the students come from very privileged backgrounds. So maybe there are things to do with the competitive exam to make it more democratic. There are probably things to do in the selection process of the students. Very important, and I realized, I think the European Union, the organization of the European Union is very complex and it's very sophisticated and very difficult to understand. But then if you ask people to vote for European Parliament, but the people don't know exactly what are the powers of the European Parliament, what do they do, what is the real influence of the members of this parliament, well, people vote, but they don't know exactly why they vote and what they vote for. So I think education about institutions and the way the political system is organized is really important. And probably the current education system in France actually is a bit light on these issues. I know it from experience because my daughter is 15, so she's in high school, and probably there could be more. I think there could be more information on the way the institutions work to make them good citizens.
That's very important, Anthony.
What did you write down?
Decide for your own future, vote. Voting is very important, and I really think that young people should not let the others, the elder generation, to decide for their future. They should be the actors of their own lives, so it's very important to vote.
Bonjour, enchanté. Tu m'appelles, tu en parles.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
So, do you have any plans to visit Korea?
Yes, actually next week I'm traveling
Oh,
to
really?
Korea, and something that I never remember the name. It's a sort of pancake or omelette with chives.
I think that I guess that's pajeon maybe.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I really like that.